In the dead of night, a pounding knock echoed through the quiet suburban house, shattering the silence like a thunderclap. Mark Thompson, a single dad with bags under his eyes and a heart heavy with grief, froze at his kitchen table, staring at the resignation email he'd just sent. His 5-year-old daughter, Lily, was asleep upstairs, oblivious to the storm raging in her father's soul. Who could it be at this hour? He peered through the peephole, his breath catching. Standing there under the porch light was his CEO, the powerful executive he'd never spoken to beyond boardroom nods. "Mark," the man called through the door, his voice urgent and raw, "open up. I won't let you walk away, not like this. If that opening hooked you, stick around because this true inspired tale of heartbreak, redemption, and unexpected kindness will have you reaching for the tissues, and don't forget to hit that like button if it moves you, and subscribe for more stories that remind us humanity still shines in the darkest hours." Mark's world had crumbled 6 months earlier when his wife, Sarah, lost her battle with cancer. One day, she was laughing at Lily's crayon drawings. The next, she was gone, leaving Mark to navigate the wreckage alone. He was a mid-level accountant at Technova, a bustling software firm where deadlines never slept. The job paid the bills, but it demanded his soul. Late nights, weekends swallowed by reports, no room for a grieving man trying to be both mom and dad. Lily's bedtime stories turned into rushed goodnights over video calls from the office. "Daddy, why are you always tired?" she'd ask, her big eyes mirroring Sarah's, piercing his guilt like a knife. The breaking point came that Friday. Mark had promised Lily a trip to the park after school, her first real outing since the funeral. But an emergency audit chained him to his desk until sunset. He arrived home to find her curled up on the couch, tear-streaked face buried in her stuffed bear. "You forgot me again," she whispered, and those words shattered him. That night, after tucking her in, Mark sat at his computer, fingers trembling as he typed his resignation. "Effective immediately," he wrote. "Family comes first." He hit send at 11:45 p.m., then poured himself a glass of water, wondering how he'd afford the mortgage, the medical bills still piling up from Sarah's treatments. Unemployment loomed like a shadow, but anything was better than watching his daughter's light dim. Little did Mark know, his email had landed in the inbox of Alexander Hale, Technova's CEO. Alex wasn't the cold corporate shark the rumors painted. He was a father himself, widowed young in a car accident years ago. He'd built the company from a garage startup, but success hadn't erased his own scars. Scrolling through late-night messages, Alex paused at Mark's note. Something about it, the raw honesty, the mention of a daughter, struck a chord. He remembered his own desperate days, juggling grief and work, nearly losing everything. Without hesitation, he grabbed his coat, punched Mark's address into his GPS, pulled from HR records, and drove through the rain-slicked streets. The knock came at midnight. Mark opened the door, stunned. "Mr. Hale? What? How did you?" "Call me Alex," the CEO said, stepping inside uninvited but with a gentleness that disarmed Mark. Rain dripped from his expensive coat onto the worn linoleum floor. "I read your email. And I couldn't just let it go. Not without talking to you first." They sat at the kitchen table, the same one where Mark and Sarah had shared countless meals. Alex listened as Mark poured out his story, the diagnosis, the endless hospital visits, Sarah's final words urging him to be strong for Lily. "I can't keep missing her life," Mark choked out. "This job, it's killing what's left of me." Alex nodded, his eyes glistening. "I get it, Mark. More than you know." He shared his own tale, losing his wife, raising 2 boys alone, the nights he'd cried in his car after work. "I built this company thinking success would fill the void. But it didn't. It almost cost me my kids." He paused, leaning forward. "That's why I'm here. I won't let you walk away, not like this. Not without fighting for you." Mark stared, disbelief mixing with hope. "What do you mean?" Alex outlined a plan on a napkin: flexible hours, remote work options, even on-site childcare Technova was piloting. And a promotion, he added. You've got talent, your audits are flawless. Lead a team on your terms. We'll cover therapy for you and Lily, too. Grief doesn't clock out at 5 p.m. It wasn't charity, it was recognition. Mark had been invisible in the corporate machine, but Alex saw him, a man battling the same demons he'd faced. Challenges mounted in Mark's mind. Could he trust this? Would it really change anything? But as they talked until dawn, sharing laughs over cold coffee about dad fails and kid antics, a bond formed. Alex wasn't just a boss, he was a lifeline. The next morning, Lily woke to find a stranger making pancakes. Who's he, Daddy? She asked, rubbing her eyes. A friend, Mark said, smiling for the first real time in months. Alex knelt to her level. I'm Alex. Want to hear about the time my boys turned the kitchen into a fort? Weeks turned into months. Mark accepted the offer, thriving in his new role with boundaries that honored his family. Lily's laughter returned, they built forts of their own, visited Sarah's grave with stories instead of silence. Technova even launched a company-wide support program for parents, inspired by Mark's story. Alex became a mentor, checking in not as CEO, but as a fellow survivor. But life wasn't a fairy tale. There were setbacks, Mark's first panic attack at work, Lily's tantrums over missing her mom. Yet, they resolved them together, therapy sessions, honest talks, small wins like family game nights. Mark learned vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was strength. Alex found purpose beyond profits, mentoring others in quiet ways. 1 year later, standing at a company picnic, Mark watched Lily chase Alex's sons across the grass. He'd rebuilt his life, not despite the heartbreak, but through it. Thank you, he told Alex. For not letting me walk away. Alex clapped his shoulder. We all need someone to knock on our door sometimes. And that's the heart of it, folks. This story reminds us that in our busiest, broken moments, kindness can change everything. No one fights alone. If Mark's journey touched you, smash that like button to spread the inspiration, and subscribe for more tales of real resilience. Who knows? Your share might be the knock someone needs tonight. Remember, family first, always. Keep shining.